Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Roshan Radhakrishnan. You probably know me from, who am I kidding? You don't know me. I'm actually one of the winners of Right India, both for season 1 and season 2. The recent pandemic has really altered all our lives. Everyone and everything is locked down. I hope all of you are quarantining yourself well during this period. I also know that all of you are scratching your heads during this break from work, wondering what to do next, what to watch next. To help you along, a few of the winners of Right India, past and present, decided to get together and try to have some fun. We decided to take on a concept of a story, but it's going to be a pass along with the hashtag to be continued. The premise is quite simple. I'm going to start a short story right now. Then I'm going to pass it along to the next author and challenge them to add their own special, unique style into it. Let's see how the final product works, shall we? Um, Now, I've written prompts last night and I've also put four different genres here. I believe there's comedy, there's horror, there's science fiction, and last one is medical. So let's just see what we get, okay? Can you see the fish in the background? Alright, so the prompt is comedy. It is lucky for you all because I really hated the horror one. Anyway, give me a second. I'll just start up my prompt. So I'm going to start my side of the story and then I'm going to pass it along to one of my fellow authors. All the best to her. Before it all went to hell, I distinctly remember Sanjay illustrating the benefits of wearing a lungi compared to the pyjamas I wore in our college dorm as he poured himself a third helping of whiskey. I will be stingy with the details, but words like free ventilation and nice flow were bandied around before the door to the watchman's quarters swung open. Kantamai, Sanjay gulped feebly, staring at the cook. We were not trespassing, mind you. This farmhouse does belong to Sanjay's uncle, Judge Shyamalan Sendalamini. Yes, that same High Court judge. Hang till death, Sendil, as the newspapers called him. What are you doing here? The cook asked us, accusingly. Oh boy, I groaned. You see, Sanjay possesses a lot of good qualities, but being quick-witted is not one of them. When confronted by a tone even slightly an octave higher than a purring kitten, my college roommate reverts to a unique primordial hum that will infuriate even the most patient of classical Carnatic singers. Can you imagine what his Viva exams were like? Kantamai's nose crinkled. Is that chicken I smell? I prepared kingfish today. How is chicken over here? Did you steal from the judge's coop? Surely this cannot carry on. You understand. I had to weigh in before the crabby lady turned red. Madam, we loved your fish curry. But Sanjay has been eating my ear for months about having a boys' party out here. So yes, we did take a chicken from the judge's coop. But there's no harm done. There were plenty over there. No need to wake up the judge over this. Eh? Perhaps this 500 rupee note will help you forget? The old lady thawed at the sight of Gandhi on a piece of paper, and I spied a smile creeping up her face. Which is, of course, when Tangappe, our third roommate, chose to speak. If I may speak truthfully, he raised his palm firmly to quieten my protest, the whiskey in his voice still fresh. Lady, don't worry. I did not take any of those chubby white chickens. I just took that ugly looking black one. That was when Kantamai started beating her chest. That's my half of the story. I'm now tagging fellow Right India author and winner K. Nashri to continue the story from here. You guys can follow this using the hashtag to be continued. Have fun, everyone.
Hello everyone. Now that Dr. Roshan Radhakrishnan has passed the curse of Senthil in my hands, what must I do but to take it forward? So here I'm spinning the story forward, part 2 of the 4-part story, and this is Kantamai. Allow me to read please, So Kantamai says, "The black chicken? Kadaknath? Are those Kadaknaths pule in your bowl?" Kantamai held her heart while she spoke. I gave Thangappan a reprimanding cold stare, but it was already too late. The arrow had been shot and it hit just the wrong target. Kantamai was Senthil's most loyal help. She had been serving the judge's family for over 20 years. She tossed the 500 rupee note right back on my face in sudden estranged madness that I had bribed her with. "How dare you kill Judge's most precious fowl? You know, he had arranged the black chicken from a friend staying 7 states away for a purpose." "Purpose?" Sanjay ushered his usual feline cry in horror, the best that he could do at such moments. "Judge checks on the black chicken every day in his coop to make sure it stays alive until Diwali next week. He was to offer it as a sacrifice in a religious ritual, which would have saved his ailing, bedridden mother. And you ate it away. What will happen to the poor doddering lady now? Judge's anger will hold no bounds. Only God can save you all from him." I imagined hanged till death Senthil summoning the 3 of us in black robes, like we were black chickens, passing the order to cut us up into pieces, mince the flesh, and serve for dinner. How old is his mother? I could not help asking Kantamai, for the judge himself looked in his late 60s. "She's 97. Aha! That saves us. Thangappan's stupidity resurfaced again. 97 and ailing. That should be better off dying. We actually did Judge a favor," he said, smiling from ear to ear. And then Kantamai's face went red in fury. She stomped her foot on the ground, almost running towards the judge's bungalow and shouting at the top of her voice, "Be ready to face his interrogation. I'm going to tell him first thing in the morning, truthfully. You wait, watch, and pray for your stars." All 3 of us ran after Kantamai, pleading for mercy for her to stop, but the old classist royal of the bungalow would rather have us cut into pieces than Kadaknath. There was no use stopping her. Now what? Sanjay gaped at already pale and sweaty faces of ours. "Let's run away," Sanjay suggested. By now he had freaked out, imagining the hell that waited to befall on us in the morning. "Shut up, you fool," I smirked at him. "Kantamai will tell him everything only in the morning. We still have a couple of hours to fix up the mess. Think hard." Thangappan, on whom the pegs of whiskey had hit hard by now, suddenly went creative into an absurdly superlative degree. "Don't worry, morons. This can be fixed in many ways." Aha. Really? I could not take his foolishness any longer. "For instance, sir?" And then Thangappan comes with his idea. "Let us put a cutout of the black chicken in the coop." Both Sanjay and I gave him the kind of deadpan stare that a school teacher gives to a student before throwing him out of the class after putting across a tight slab. Okay, I get that look. Since you both think it will not work, though I know it will, I have another idea. How about sending the judge's mother to heaven tonight itself? When he'll find her gone, he will not look for the black chicken, right? That look again. Okay, sorry. How about catching hold of the white chicken and painting it black? From a distance, neither Kantamai nor Senthil will be able to make out. That look again. We were cursing him as much as the whiskey. Hold on. Now this, the last and most brilliant idea. You will pat my back after listening to this. And ladies and gentlemen, the idea is not with me. It is with the other storyteller, Ashisha Chakraborty, the Right India winner, who is taking the story forward. So here's the curse of Senthil handed over to her.
Hi everyone, Ashisha Chakraborty this side. I'm one of the Times of India Right India winners for season 2. So we ended with, hold on, now this. The last and most brilliant idea. You'll pat my back after listening to this. I was about to storm out of the room owing to the nonsense Thangapan was belting out when he airily announced, "Let's get Kantamai married to the cranky old judge." For a moment, none of us said a word because of course there was nothing to say. And then Sanjay and I looked at each other and then at our sloshed friend, and I finally choked out an "Excuse me?" while Sanjay shook his head saying, "Son of a biscuit." Thangapan continued with his super fantastical narrative. Kantamai is the only woman in Judge Senthil's life right now, isn't she? And she cares so much about his 100-year-old. 97, I corrected him. 97, alright bro. He gave me a weird ass old fist bump, which of course I did not reciprocate. But imagine how long has the judge been hanging people out of his frustration, Once he has a woman in his life, things will definitely get better. And you know what they say? Replace one accident with a bigger one and whoosh, people forget. Well, I for one was sure Judge Senthil would not forget this easily. Might actually consider hanging us till death when he hears of such goings on. But well, Thangapan was on a roll. Senthil marries Kantamai. The banner would read at the top of the wedding hall. I can get the liquor. We have the farmhouse. Sanjay could play the DJ, and you could become the priest. Priest, yeah. That's all I was good for, right? Going to a church and marrying 2 people, sad old man, me who hadn't yet managed to find a girl. Thangapan, however high he was, did come up with weirdo but quite hard-hitting ideas, I felt, on second thoughts. What do you say? He rapped Sanjay on the back, who strangely did not remove Thangapan's arm from his shoulder. "Sanjay?" I questioned him, my eyes large, round and disbelieving. "Et tu brute?" His humming and muttering irritated me. What was there to think of? What on earth were we doing? Instead of thinking of some sane ways to get rid out of the quagmire we had landed ourselves in. Correction. He had landed us in, I said, pointing to Thangapan. We were cooking up some wild, inconceivable ideas, like marrying his uncle to Kantamai, the cook. "Who is marrying my cook?" a voice thundered and brought us all to a halt. Ah yes, that was Sanjay's dear uncle, Justice Shyamalan Senthilmani, the High Court judge, the hanged till death Senthil. My heart nearly stopped beating. Today was probably our last day on earth. So this was my bit. Now I pass the baton to Bhashwar to continue this quite interesting narrative. Thank you guys. Let's see what Bhashwar tells us.
Good evening everyone, this is Bhashwar Mukherjee, winner of Times of India, Right India, both seasons 1 and 3. Whoever said that a rolling stone gathers no moss obviously was not referring to a ball of yarn. Now that yarn has been spun by Roshan, Kena and Ashisha, and now it's on my plate. Let's see how we can take this story to a logical close. The towering figure, which looked like a cross between Schwarzenegger, overdosed on vitamins, and Popeye overfed on spinach, framed the doorway. Nope. Even sideways, we wouldn't be able to get past Judge Senthil. He had a torch in one hand and what looked like a shotgun in the other and proceeded to aim it upon us. The torch, thankfully. The dim lights in the watchman's cabin had helped to spur the intoxication of whiskey a little while ago, now evaporated as the glare from the torch hit us. Sanjay, he thundered, having discerned his nephew from the trio of harassed and tottering youth. I repeat, who's marrying my cook? Is that why she's so upset? Thangappan's foot in the mouth disease did not disappoint. You, he shook like an aspen leaf, but was clearly audible. Gnarled yet strong fingers grasped Sanjay's collar and began to shake him like an aspen leaf. Sanjay, what's going on? Kantamai woke me up blabbering incoherently and pointing to these quarters. I decided to investigate. Sanjay's dexterity in tying his tongue in knots have been well chronicled here before. He repeated his routine. The grip on his shirt did not slacken as the torch moved and fell upon in the following order in quick succession. Thangappan, me, the rickety table on which 3 glasses of whiskey in various stages of consumption rested in shame, and finally the telltale plate of chicken bones. Who are these ruffians? And what? You have been drinking. You, the judge sputtered, overwrought, and momentarily fell silent, clearly afflicted by his nephew's speech disability. But Kantamai, who had come and stood behind him, seemed to have rediscovered coherence at last. Not just whiskey, they have cooked and consumed your Kadaknath black chicken. What? Momentarily startled from a sudden screeching from the vicinity of his armpit and winded from the impact of her words, the iron grip slackened. A single word magically escaped Sanjay's lips. Run! We stumbled out past the twin sentinels of Senthil and Kantamai. Despite his vote for the lungi over the pajamas, Sanjay was finding the going clearly difficult. In my dexterous pajamas I ran, Thangappan followed, and Sanjay struggled with Senthil and Kantamai in hot pursuit. I am ashamed to admit that despite their advanced years, they were gaining ground. Whiskey robs that much from you. Where? I panted. My place is the closest, says Thangappan, waiting for Sanjay, who now was running strong in his boxer shorts, having abandoned the lungi en route. We thundered up Thangappan's bungalow steps and fell upon the bell. Shoot, parents are not at home. So who are you ringing the bell for? My sprightly 98-year-old grandfather. As luck would have it, the veranda light came on and bathed us all in its splendorous glory, just as Senthil and Kantamai were thundering past. I wish that candescence did not repeatedly descend upon us unannounced, making us feel like convicts co-opted into some horrific escape movie. There, triumph was written large over Judge Senthil's voice. Senthil and Kantamai, puffing and panting, came up the steps. We began experiencing what the Kadaknath chicken would have felt moments before Thangappan had trapped it. The door opened and an elderly gentleman, ramrod straight, emerged. Is there any way to ring the bell, Thangappan? What? Justice Senthil? What are you doing here? Come in, come in. In Thangappan's cozy drawing room, Judge Senthil and Thangappan's grandfather, Sri Narayanan, nursed a whiskey each and roared with laughter at the end of a painful extraction of confessions from us. Thangappan and me to be more precise, bereft of his lungi, Sanjay hid behind us, robbed of speech in any shape or form. There was a twinkle in Narayan's voice as he spoke. Many moons ago, Rukmini, Senthil's mother, and I were neighbors. I was besotted by her and kept stealing her favorite Kadaknath black chicken to grab her attention. Fate chose otherwise, and we never had a life together. When she fell seriously ill, I sent word through Senthil that I would like to propose to her during Diwali and asked him to procure a Kadaknath black chicken, which he painstakingly did. What? Thangappan shrank in horror. I thought you wanted the black chicken for a religious ritual to save her life, wailed Kantamai. Yes, in the twilight of our lives, we wanted to reclaim our unfulfilled dreams, Kantamai, said Narayan softly. I would steal the chicken from her farm and present it back to her as a wedding gift. There was a poignant silence in the room. Oh well, said Judge Senthil, looking like a docile hangman now, if a hangman could ever look docile. One mystery remains unanswered. What is all this about Kantamai's marriage? What screeched Kantamai? And then, like a pin being released from a grenade, Sanjay and I saw Thangappan open his mouth to speak. We quietly slunk out of the room and made ourselves scarce. That brings us to the end of the story, to be continued. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did putting it together.